Hello everybody, my name is Lucas and welcome to another episode of Amps of the Axe-Fx 3. Today we are going to be checking out the badcat Hot 30, or as it is known in the Axe-Fx, the Hot Kitty. Guys, if this is your first time here, or if you've been here before, make sure you are subscribed because we go over lots of gear. We go over stuff from the Axe-Fx and we do giveaways, and I don't want you to miss any of that cool stuff. So let's dive right into the Black Cat. Let's read a little bit about it and then we'll play a little bit and see what it sounds like. So it's basically a 30 watt pure class A high gain. So the channel that we have in the Axe-Fx, the Hot Kitty right here, is based on the distortion channel of the badcat, and it uses EL34 tubes. And badcat became well known after Mark Sampson from Matchless became their chief amp designer. So that's why it is based on Class A, and that's why it may or may not kind of sound like a Matchless to you. And it is based off of the Hot Cat 30, not the current Hot Cat 30. Or some tips from Yek. This is from Yek's Amp Guide. I'm going to put that in the description down below if you want to check it out. And it says to crank the master and turn up the high cut. The weird thing about this amp is the high cut works in reverse on the real amp. Cliff says that down here. The amp has a high cut, but it's labeled Brilliance. It's wired backwards, so turning it clockwise gets it brighter. So in the amp, it's kind of backwards, but here, as you turn it up, it cuts the high on the actual amp right here. Everything I dialed in is going to be from Authentic, using ML Mega Green, which it is a Mesa oversized 412 with some of the best Celestian greenbacks in it. You wouldn't think that would sound good for lower gain type stuff, but I absolutely love the way it sounds. This is what the badcat looks like. It's a very simple and small amp, and I'll show you exactly how that sounds. Okay, enough of me talking. Let's get into playing, and I'm going to be using a Tom Anderson Cobra S. These are Anderson pickups, the HC, one in the neck, HC3 in the bridge. I'm going to cycle between bridge and parallel middle, parallel neck, and for the neck. So what you're going to hear now is going to come from the bridge pickup. So on the bridge pickup, it is a little bit bassy, and if we move to the bridge parallel position, which is sort of like a single coil type of sound, this is what it sounds like. So as you can hear, when you move to the parallel position, it gets a little bit brighter, kind of a little bit twangy. I probably could cut the highs a little bit when you move it to that position. Let's try out the middle position parallel. So you get a little bit of a cut on the gain wise. I'm doing it like this because I kind of want to show you how the amp reacts to different pickup positions. And this is going to be parallel neck. Then neck. So I just went from bridge to neck, and it's very interesting. I kind of like it a little bit better on the neck. It's not as hot, but it has a little bit more bass in it. But I think my favorite position is keeping it in parallel bridge. So now that we are in parallel bridge, one of the things that in the guide that we went over, it says to crank the master and to crank the high cut. Let me lower that a little bit, and let me crank the high cut right around there, and let's see what this sounds like. Hopefully no one's ears are blown out. Perfect. So that's a pretty good tour of the badcat. I tried to mess with the volume, lower the volume, get some different things in there. You can get some pretty good sounds pretty fast on it if you know your guitar and you know how to kind of tweak exactly what you want in your head. It breaks up pretty decently. I didn't even touch the EQ in this thing. I kind of like it with the master down. I kind of like it like here, like the master down a little bit. It's a little bit more uncompressed. It's a little bit more open. That's it, guys. It's a very simple amp. If you kind of want like something that's sort of like a matchless, but is a little hotter and a little bit different flavor, the badcat might be the amp for you. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video on the badcat. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, greatly appreciate it. Coming up next on Amps of the Axe FX 3, we have an amp that is near and dear to my heart because I played it for 3 years while I was in college, the Roland Jazz 120. That is going to be coming up next. Make sure you sub so you don't miss it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.